That has made us feel very welcome here in China. They were really friendly with us.
Jay and Carolina are a couple from the UK. This is their first time in China. They feel like they have entered a strange world and are curious about everything. At the beginning of the video, Jay said that his understanding of China all comes from the negative news in the Western media. But after seeing other bloggers' videos of traveling in China, his thoughts were a little shaken, so he planned to take an open mind and see what China is like with his own eyes. They took a Hainan Airlines flight from Manchester to Beijing. Before boarding the plane, Jay was nervous and excited because they were not sure what would happen after arriving in China. Carolina even thought about all the possible outcomes.
A bit nervous because I don't know what to expect.
Yeah, we really don't know what's going to happen when we land in China, what it's going to be like, and often Western media paints a negative picture about China in our minds, but we're going into this with an open mind to see for ourselves what it's really like traveling to China.
When checking in their luggage, the enthusiastic help of the Hainan Airlines staff made them relax a lot. After boarding the plane and taking his seat, Jay looked at the Chinese cheongsam worn by the Hainan Airlines stewardess and praised it directly for being so beautiful. Then Carolina said that Anei's plane was very big. This was his first time to sit on a big plane with rows of seats. After Jay sat down, he said that the seat space was also very large, not as narrow as he had imagined. And the seat was very comfortable, the pillow was very soft, and there was a TV on the seat for watching movies. What impressed Jay the most was that the operation interface could be switched to English, which made their Feihe journey no longer boring. After the plane took off, Carolina began to look forward to the meal on the plane. He hoped it would be Chinese food because Chinese food was his favorite. They ordered Italian salad, chicken breast and fungus fried chicken rice, and chicken and mushroom porridge. Just these few simple dishes made them say that they were delicious. In the end, there was not a grain of rice or porridge left, which made Carolina look forward to feasting in China even more. We are actually looking forward to eating and indulging ourselves in China. When they landed at Beijing airport and completed the immigration procedures, Jay said that his nervous heart finally settled down completely. So far, everything has been going well and not as bad as he imagined. The previous worries were more like scaring himself. He said he had known for a long time that China was very advanced and had entered a cashless society, but in case his Alipay didn't work, he still planned to withdraw some cash. When withdrawing cash from the ATM at the airport, Jay found that the operation page could be switched to English, while Carolina was a little nervous because he heard that foreigners had their bank cards swallowed by machines when withdrawing money in China. Jay comforted him and said that China was safe and friendly to foreigners. The thing I'm worried about is that the card's gonna get like sucked up in the machine. I've seen it happen to another couple after withdrawing the money. Carolina's bank card was not spit out for a long time, which scared him, but it turned out that he forgot to press the eject button. Next, they took the Capital Airport Express to the subway station. Jay said that buying tickets can be done completely by yourself on the machine, and the operating interface can be switched to English, which is completely barrier-free and very convenient. When paying, Jay tried Alipay for the first time, which made him very excited, as if he had finally passed the level of a game. As soon as they got on the train, they were stunned by the clean, spacious, and bright carriage. Jay couldn't help but praise it again. Very bright, very clean. Look at the seats, they look very modern. When they arrived at Beijing station to transfer to the subway, they were once again shocked by the beautiful platform, saying that this had exceeded their expectations and was completely different from their imagination of China, which made him feel that his previous worries were self-deception. When they transferred to Metro Line Fei to go to the hotel, it was more than o'clock in the morning. During the morning rush hour, Jay sighed that although there were many people on the subway, it was very quiet. No one was making a fuss, and the quality of the Chinese was very good, which made them embarrassed to speak loudly when recording the video, and they just took some pictures. After leaving the subway station, what shocked Jay was that although there were cars coming and going on the street, and there were many motorcycles and electric vehicles. It was very quiet, without harsh horns, no screams or shouts, and even no homeless people on the street. Jay was surprised to say that this was the real China. Looking at the electric cars and battery cars on the street, Jay said that this is the future, and this is something that only exists in the future. When they arrived at the hotel, they met an old man who spitted everywhere. Jay said to Carolina that spitting everywhere seemed to be very common here, and they had to get used to this lifestyle. Watching the hotel they stayed in the video, I have to say that after watching so many videos of foreigners coming to China, I found that the most common pitfall for them is the hotel, and many of them booked this kind of hotel and guest house level. Then they went to Wangfujing Pedestrian Street for dinner. Jay said that in the UK, they would look for restaurants with high ratings on Google Maps, looking at the pictures of other people's check in comments. But Google Maps cannot be used in China, and Apple Maps does not work either. Finally, he was surprised to find that Alipay actually has the same function. Finally, he found a Beijing hot pot restaurant with a high rating. During the hot pot, the waiter in the restaurant used the mobile phone translation software to communicate with Jay throughout the whole process. The waiter also helped them to mix the dipping sauce and serve the dishes. This made Jay very satisfied with the hot pot and praised the Chinese for being very friendly. Interestingly, Jay asked the waiter if he knew YouTube and asked him to follow him. The waiter said he didn't know, and he only played Bilibili. Jay had to say that he forgot, and YouTube was not available in China. In the end, the final hot pot cost 315 yuan, equivalent to 44 US dollars. This made Jay feel that it was not only delicious, but also so cheap. At the end of the video, Jay said that he couldn't believe it. He was still worried and scared before leaving in the morning. But now he is enjoying the time in China so much. When they went to other countries, they never had such uneasiness and fear. He thought it might be affected by the media or the internet. When you hear some negative information, you will be affected because you can't verify its authenticity. I want to say that the unknown is not scary. When you encounter a problem, the first thing you think of is not to complain, but to find a solution. Just like this, you finally found a restaurant with a high rating in Alipay. Many foreigners have a bad experience in China. They are unwilling to accept new things with an open mind and are unwilling to prepare in advance. When reality conflicts with their habits, they can only complain. Just like this foreign netizen commented, "I went to China for a trip 2 months ago. Although I don't speak Chinese, with the help of mobile phone translation, I still feel that China is strong and prosperous, and the Chinese are very enthusiastic."